I realized I didn't actually get you to introduce yourself. So let's
That would probably be important.
let's do that first, and then I've got another question for you.
Go. I'm Rob. I mean, I don't know, honestly, ever have to how I don't know how to ever answer this question. Um, because some places I go, they want to know the boxes that I do fit and that I identify myself with. So most people like to know that I'm married or that I have kids or grandkids or that I'm a coach or that I was a veteran or no, not that I am a veteran. But then some like to know that I just love living life. I really love serving and advocating for people. Um, I love including. I love I love when someone can see themselves. Um, I love when there's unity. I love when there's disagreement, but respect and love are still present. Um, I love people. I love music. I also love dogs. Like I do. Like well, I won't use the term hate, but I was scared of dogs for a long time. Just because it's this little chihuahua fucker that used to nip at me when I was a kid. Like the meanest little dog ever. And I probably could have just kicked it. It was a considerable size difference. But this little dog scared the shit out of me. Um, to now being a father of 3 rescue girls. So yeah, whichever way you need to, put me for the Rob in your mind, that's me. But all of those things that I love show up as a parent, show up as a coach, show up as a speaker. So you kind of will always get those, but that's how I explain who I am.
I love it. So the question that popped up in my mind, which some people listening to this might be thinking is, so your interpretation of stress isn't, how is that different from mindfulness? Like this idea of, oh, taking a deep breath and calming yourself down and then moving forward. Like how does this differ from that?
I I don't think there's a difference in once we get into the act and what the result is. And so for me, the only difference in anything that's designed to help is the intent it comes from or the place that it comes from. So I don't have a regular way of releasing stress from myself. But what I do know is there are a million ways to release stress. And so I just got to grab one of them. So, from what I understand about mindfulness, there is a set of practices that I'm going to use, and I refer to those set of practices for the purpose of getting through my stressful moment. I don't have a problem with that, Rob, personally, other than there are going to be some stressful moments that taking a deep breath are not going to pull me out of. And if I listen softly enough, there was actually something said before I chose to go to my learned behavior of taking a deep breath that was actually going to be what I needed to dissipate this stress. So, for instance, my daughter called me a few months back with a huge financial problem. So my immediate stress response was do something financially with the money I have and pay it off and make sure it's done. The voice behind it said, show her how strong she is and that this won't be a problem as well. Now, she had to deal with that financial issue. But the way she shows up in life now is completely different than the person who would have had their dad walk through the financial issue. So I had the stress of wanting to be there for my child. Get it? No, and the stories of my grandboys over there not eating and they're dying, and my grandsons I'm killing my grandson. The whole story I made up, right? Um, Hearing that soft voice behind it that says, no, this one isn't going to be a take a breath and let it go. This one's going to be a submittance, a untethering. This one is going to be a trust, and so that's a little bit different. And so I do that. I see her come through it. My stress dissipates. So That would be the only difference, I say. It's only in where it comes from. For me, I hear that small, soft voice, and it varies on what it says. Sometimes it says mindfulness. Sometimes it says workout. Sometimes it says name something else that's out there. CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, right? Sometimes it gives me a behavior that would be perceived in form as cognitive behavior therapy. I get it. But it's not cognitive behavior therapy. It was what my wisdom told me I should do in that moment. That would be the only difference I see in any of these, any of them, the place they originate from at that moment.